Hello and welcome to a slightly different one today. Today I'm going to take you to visit some places in West Wycombe, a village quite near where I live. That's Wycombe spelled W-Y-C-O-M-B-E in Buckinghamshire, not West Wycombe in Surrey. I think this is Surrey. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Last year I recorded a West Wycombe part 1 where my friend Ali and I walked around one part of the village. Today we're going to the village itself and going to visit some of the parts of the Dashwood estate, including the infamous Hellfire Caves, which we used in a recent photo shoot. We've got a red light and roadworks, but at least that gives you a chance to have a better look at these wonderful buildings. It's gorgeous here, isn't it? I absolutely love West Wycombe. Look at the old post office over here. It's beautiful, isn't it? Even the music seems appropriate. Okay, so while I'm in the West Wycombe area, I thought I'd go up to the top of West Wycombe Hill and get some views from up here. As you can see, the view from up here is pretty spectacular. Look at that. Wonderful, isn't it? It's probably one of the highest points in the Wycombe area. You can see some dust in the trees there. I've also got the combine harvesters out up there as well. But we are going to walk through this little wooded area to that mysterious looking structure you can see peeking through the trees. Can you see the golden ball? Come on, I'll show you. And this is the Church of St Lawrence in West Wycombe. And you'll notice almost immediately we've got yew trees. Yew trees are always associated with death and graveyards. But yes, we've got a yew tree. Lots of little red arrows growing in there. But this is the Church of St Lawrence. And what marks it from other churches is that extraordinary golden ball on the top. The hill I'm standing on is and was owned by the Dashwood family, and they built tunnels into the hillside in which they could hold the Hellfire Club parties. But it went a bit further than that, because the family church, which is here, St Lawrence's, they built this golden ball on the top, which is actually hollow and inside has leather seats. I don't know if you can quite see it from here because we're a bit silhouetted against the sky, but it's got portholes in it, and some of the posh lords would take some of their fancy ladies up into the ball on top of the tower to show them a good time. I mean, to show them the view. Yeah, okay. Now the other little surprise of this churchyard is when you go through this gate here. That is the extraordinary Dashwood family mausoleum, where every member of the Dashwood family has been interred. The big tomb at the centre is the first Sir Francis Dashwood, and all the others are in the urns that you can see in the alcoves around the outside. Extraordinary building, and best appreciated from the air. So here's a little snippet I found on YouTube, appropriately credited of course. The Church of St Lawrence and the Dashwood Mausoleum sit on top of a tall chalk hill, and inside the hill is a network of caves and tunnels that were dug by the second Lord Dashwood as a meeting place for the naughty Hellfire Club, and that's where we're going to visit next. There we go, the front of the Hellfire Caves, the entrance to them. someone out at the entrance to the Hellfire Caves themselves. And this is Willow. Say hello, Willow.
Hello.
This is Willow. Who is? Are you the manager or are you the?
I am the events director.
You're the events director. That's the word.
There we go.
Oh, now we've got to figure.
The other way.
Do you know, I wore a jacket today because I've been here a few times over the years. And it's always been freezing. Is it still freezing?
Trust me, once you get around that first corner, it's about 8 to 10 degrees all year round.
Yeah,
so.
I did warn Mark. I said, go and put some trousers on.
Fix Alan.
He's what?
This is Alan.
Oh, it's Alan. Hello, Alan.
Yeah, he's sort of our guardian of the caves, but because
right.
he's open to the public, people like to mess around there.
Oh, Alan.
I
know,
Alan. But no.
And this is a quick map of the caves, just to give you some idea of the network. There are a series of tunnels and a series of caves, but we'll have a look as we go on.
So it's not, it's not your average, just a hole in the ground.
It's not, is it? It's not, and it's all carved directly into the chalk hill. Oh, I can feel the temperature dropping as we walk down.
Yeah. When it's really hot in the summer, we sort of, when you come back up, you feel the heat hit you.
Yeah.
We sort of describe it as like when you get off the plane on holiday, sort of.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So, here we go. It's starting to get a bit darker and spooky now. As you can see, it's quite an extensive network. And remind me, Willow, there are quite a few faces carved into the walls, aren't they, as you walk along?
The faces actually are original. There's 2 down here which are really prominent. And Sir Francis II, who was the guy who dug all the caves, he actually commissioned William Hogarth to come in and carve all of these faces into the walls. There's one there with a cross on his forehead.
So these are actually by William Hogarth?
They are indeed. And they are meant to represent members of the Hellfire Club. So they had sort of a hierarchy system. They had the superior and inferior members of the club. And this one here is very poignant, as you see, very big pointing hat. And this is actually meant to represent Sir Francis II. Because he...
Sure, he appreciated that.
Yeah, well, it's because these people were very particular in these meetings, and men used to dress as monks, women used to dress as nuns, and Dashwood himself would dress as the Pope. So you can kind of guess what they were into, sort of back in those days.
Yeah,
and this point, the circle, is where they used to split. Ladies would go to the right and men would go to the left, and they'd go and they meet their partner for the evening.
Amazing.
So it's sort of, I always say it's sort of Sir Francis, almost like surveying,
I know.
Or maybe watching.
Ladies coming in.
Yeah.
It's either that or they were all wearing gimp masks.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, absolutely not. They were those kind of people. But...
This is a fantastic location. I mean, I have been here a couple of times before, but it's so nice to come back.
I've been here, but we haven't
Okay, we've been here in the past couple of years. The very bottom chamber in the temple is now into the public.
Look at some of the names here. I mean, if I'm going a bit fast for you, then, pause it and have a look. But there's an extraordinary number of names here, and that's just some of the members. Oh, so we got colour changing as well.
Yeah, we can do any possible
Disco.
Yes.
So what's the relevance of the 22? That's the 20 steps.
So we actually don't know what this symbol means. Whether or not it was just carved in as 22 markers from the surface, by the miners who were digging it, or, as this poem suggests, it's something a bit more sinister. Now, we only know of the tunnels that you guys will walk through, that these are the confirmed ones. But, I mean, growing up in Wycombe, you always hear stories of, there were tunnels going from the manor house to here, or, here up to the church, and we still do get emails to this day going, can we have access to, the secret tunnel between here and the church? And we're like, it doesn't actually exist. But, so that we know of. I mean, Sir Francis,
there's tunnels under the high street in High Wycombe, but they do exist, we just can't get down there.
Sir Francis II, he actually on his they did a lot of on their deathbed sort of declarations.
Yeah, they do these things.
It's all for dramatics, isn't it?
Of course it is.
But Sir Francis, he actually ordered for all of the secret passageways to be sealed. So, whether or not they exist, but one of them is believed to be 22 steps. Well,
there
it's 22 steps. I don't know whose steps they are because they're definitely not mine.
Yeah, I was going to say. What's that? No little face. Yeah, there's loads of little faces. They're great.
This is it. Not exactly 22, but it's very fun. Exactly. Previous staff members, I'm talking years and years ago, have managed to get sort of a pinhead camera through here, and they can see that there's tunnel going forward, but obviously it just goes black.
I wonder where it goes.
As well, something, if you turn around, there are Greenwell faces on the walls that
Oh
are
my
very,
goodness, yeah, look
you
at
know,
these.
why would they be very dramatic facing this wall if it leads to
I've
nothing?
got memories of a
Little
kid.
faces
There used
like
to be
this.
an iron gate down there somewhere that used to shut, and there was a recess at the side of there because my uncle used to work down there.
All right.
Years
Yeah.
ago. And I remember you used to go down and there was a little
These
gate.
faces.
Yeah.
People thought they were actually locked in, but that's so. You've got chicken wire in the castle or something.
Yeah, that's further a bit further down. Walk through this. I mean, when I tell you, in the dark, you cannot see your hand in your face. Another very interesting face, it's funny you turn this one up, is this is the face of the devil that was carved into walls. And obviously you can see where it used to be a bright crimson red, you know, back in the day, and, you know, used to have another horn. So again, it's one of those things that, you know, led people to believe that the Hellfire Club were, you know, worshipping the devil or some form of, you know, Satanism, essentially. Because,
Absolutely.
you know, if William Hogarth coming in and painting all of the, or carving, sorry, the face of the members into the walls, they say that the Hellfire Club had to, you know, consider the devil a member. But
Of
whether or
course.
not you believe that is a whole other question. You're very lucky, you know, when you sort of take it for granted when you work here for so long, because, I mean, and while living in Wycombe, you sort of just go, oh, it's the caves, but then you actually, you know, you take into account that how, you know, yes, it's man-made, but how much of a beauty it is, and, you know,
It is quite.
place.
It is quite beautiful.
Especially, this is my favourite part, you know.
This is why I don't do the shooting here.
So we can do,
There we are. This is the banqueting hall.
it is, so it's 60 foot up and 40 foot across, including the tunnel that's around the back of it.
Wow.
So we can do these sort of central lights. We can do these alcoves, different colours to the main lights in here. And the best thing is this sort of room is just left of the church. So we're directly under the graveyard, so we have dripped on its body juice. It's something I always, because people come in and go, wow! And I'm like, don't open your mouth.
Yeah. Don't open your mouth. Oh.
Only a simple question, there's no electric down there, is there?
Four pump points here.
It's actually quite hard to convey the height in here
Yeah.
because you sort of got the wall like this, and you don't realise it. It's only when you get right up to this point here, that's the very top of the roof up there. Amazing. On into another tunnel.
Yeah, I'll go this way. Not go see them. My knees are not here.
You're starting to get a sense now of how deep these caves go into the hill. It's really quite deep, and the tunnels are going downwards as well. So we're going deeper as well. Oh, this is tight. Look at this down through here. I also can't begin to imagine the people who actually came in here with hand tools and actually carved these out of the hill. Actually carved these entire tunnels. It's amazing, isn't it? Oh yeah. I know that the most talented team came here.
Yeah, these are all the original audios that have been here for 70 odd years. Yeah, all lots of them. Yeah. I know.
Wet as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's so damp down here.
But it will be,
It's
yeah.
dry. So.
And it's chalk.
It is
It's porous.
indeed.
Everything goes through it.
Oh, you're telling me we had a temple, the very bottom chamber, actually was under about 10 inches of water for 3 months this year.
I was going to say, how was it with all the really bad weather we
Flooded.
had?
It
Yeah,
was
I can imagine.
Yeah, and it's literally, we've only just managed to gravel everything.
Blimey.
So yeah.
Now this is fascinating because this is the inner temple, and we've got some stalactites, stalagmites, etc. And down here, if you can see the water, that is what the members of the Hellfire Club called the River Styx.
Indeed they did.
The River of the Dead. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, so
It's
this
so
is
hard to
actually
keep
what we're standing
focused.
on is a bridge, and they used to,
It
back
is.
in the day, they used to have stepping stones that they used to leave across to get over there.
It's wonderful, isn't it? Look at that. There we go. And there's the waters of the River Styx.
Oh, I've actually never been in the...
No, there you go.
It
There's
wouldn't stop there, though.
yeah, there is a little step down, so just be careful, because I always go up and pass over the tip.
Well, there you go. Onwards.
It's always a bit loud, sorry.
And this was the inner temple, wasn't
Yep.
it? The inner temple. I'm
So
trying to remember the
this-
last time I came here.
Yeah, so this is recently been opened about,
Never been there before.
yeah, I think about 2.5 years ago now. This was actually open to the public, restored, and, it's safe. And yeah, just re-gravelled it and new seating as well, which is,
Fabulous.
really, really nice.
I love all the graffiti. The
Yeah,
graffiti always
it's funny
fascinates
when you
me.
see like John 1939 next to
I know,
everything
I know.
else.
It's great, isn't it?
So many, it's quite sad, when you work here and you go, oh, that graffiti's new, and it's, you just know to know everything.
Yeah, I know. And you will never know who these people are.
No.
I think that's 1895 or 1885.
I mean, it's a blessing.
And even that's got a little face in it, look, the 8.
Yeah.
It's got...
I say, it's obviously a courtesy, you wouldn't let, your child touch the Mona Lisa, but you let them carve my name into the cake, but then it's also, it does add to the history.
It's part of the history, yeah.
Which is, as much as it can be a hindrance, it is also, it's the modern history of it.
But the faces just make it for me. There's so many.
I counted about 47, I think was the last time.
47.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can believe it. If not more.
Yeah, exactly. And that would just be going down going 1, 2, and then just going very quickly.
Hello. As Mark's just pointed out, the Masons have been in.
You might then get lost on the way out, or you might have to spend the night there.
Oh, just got dripped on again. I mean, we were saying earlier that the caves are actually still owned by the Dashwood family.
Indeed they are.
So if they are filming at Dashwood House,
which they
you're
are.
kind of on the staff then, are you?
Absolutely. So,
Ah.
what have I worked on? The most recent one we've had here last year was actually Beetlejuice 2. So
Really?
Tim Burton is so eccentric and he's exactly what you thought he would be.
Yeah, I
as
can
well.
imagine.
So yeah, we had Winona Ryder, General Taylor up here, and the estate was actually used for most of the film. The scene in the trailer where they're doing the funeral, where the sort of choir boys are singing Deo, that is literally all on the estate.
Do you know, it's really weird because when I saw the trailer, where they're all standing there, because obviously Dad's being buried, I thought, that looks like West Wycombe, because it gets used in so many things, doesn't it? I mean, it was in the hippopotamus, and Midsummer Murders, God knows how many people have died here.
I mean, the opening scene of Labyrinth is filmed at the estate.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely,
why the bridge is called the Labyrinth Bridge. And it's, again, found that out and found it very, very hard.
I know, I love all that.
That's the most recent one. But then you get things like X-Men that are filmed at the estate, and it's like that massive contrast, your classic, period drama to, you've got The Rock, over there sort of thing.
I know, very odd.
But, yeah.
Now that you've been on a tour of the caves, maybe this will make a bit more sense to you now, this plan. I mean, you saw where the 22 was on the wall, you saw Franklin's cave, you saw the big banqueting hall, and you also saw down to the inner temple and the River Styx. So that's where we've been, through that route and downwards. And here we are. Oh my word, you get to this point, I see what you meant about the heat.
It just hits you.
Yeah, suddenly it hits you, doesn't it? You realise how warm it is outside compared to in here? Extraordinary. It's quite striking, isn't it? Look at that. I hope you enjoyed your visit. Toodle pip. If you've enjoyed this video, then please consider subscribing. Or Click on some of these links to look at some of the other videos on the channel, or press the like button, or leave a comment. It would be lovely to hear from you. Any combination of those 4 things would be wonderful. Thank you very much.